G'day Australia, good evening world, and Zao to our friends from Taiwan. Welcome to the Wealth Boomerang Show. Is this a show about money? Well, the real question is, what is wealth and what does wealth mean to you? For those who already have millions of dollars, you may desire extra time to spend with your loved ones. A sick millionaire may wish to give all of their money for good health. Some people may want a more fulfilling relationship or a deeper spiritual connection. We believe that whatever you value is wealth to you, and we believe that whatever you send out will come back to you. Every week we speak to people who have operated their wealth boomerangs correctly. They may have boomeranged back from tragedy to triumph or boomeranged back from rags to riches. Either way, their stories will touch, move and inspire you and instruct you along your journey. So sit back, relax and welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jeremy Britton, and this is your Wealth Boomerang Show.
Your head is there to dream your dreams. Your feet are there to follow through. Your heart is like a boomerang, boomerang. What you send out comes back to you. Boomerang, boomerang. Boomerang, boomerang. Look inside and you will find all your wealth's inside of you. Wealth starts inside your mind.
Former pro basketballer, now professional speaker and success coach, Eric Bailey had a rough ride through life. Born with a disability and rejected by his birth parents, he was put up for adoption. Eric grew up on the tough streets of South Central LA and had a dream that he would not end up dead or on drugs like his peers. A true champion who has overcome his disability and his upbringing, Eric shows other people how they too can boomerang back from living in despair to living their wildest dreams. Eric, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Mate, it's a long way from South Central LA to Australia, and I guess many people who living in this country would see on TV living in South Central LA, it's drugs, it's guns, it's violence. Is it like on the TV or is it different growing up there?
I get asked that question quite a bit, and I only just got back in Australia on Monday. And one of the things that I did was actually went back to my neighborhood that I grew up on, you know, over 30 years ago. And what I saw then is definitely a replica of what I see now. I mean, it is dangerous. There are drugs, you know, there is crime, there's poverty, there's unemployment. So a lot has changed, but then again, nothing has changed. And that's why I tell people living here in Australia, in this country at this time, you have the best opportunity to make the most of your life, but you have to walk away from the negativity and I can't or I won't, and start thinking about I can, I will, and I must.
On the TV, South Central really does look like a war zone. That's how it's portrayed to us by the media. How tough did you have to be as a kid growing up?
I had to be very tough. Not just tough physically, but just tough mentally. From the mental side of things is understanding that, okay, there are elements out there that you just have to walk away from. You know, you can't get caught up in trying to be like other people. You have to be yourself. There are certain places that you can't go. There's certain times of the day that you know you need to be at home. You learn it's called street cred, okay? You learn and understand what's acceptable and what's not. That's the only way to survive.
There's literally like drug deals and gunfire on the streets as you're walking home from school. Is that really what it's like?
There are certain areas that happens in, and you know not to go near those particular areas. Then there are other places that are just fine. And for someone not knowing the neighborhood, you know, you need to know exactly where to be and what time not to be in certain places.
Yeah. Now, imagine with the gangs and the crime and that sort of stuff, like physically you had to run fast, you had to get out of the way. But if we can go back a little bit further, like when you were born, your birth parents put you up for adoption.
Yes.
So I imagine there was a lot of emotional stuff that you had to go through as well as the physical stuff.
Well, I always thought that I was never good enough. Because of my knees, I wasn't allowed to play sport. And when you're not allowed to play sport and you have the physical presence that I had, you know, at age 10, I was almost 6 foot tall. So kids just assumed that I should play basketball or football or baseball. But because of the pain in my knees and the doctor said I shouldn't play, I didn't. So I was labeled as a sissy, as a coward, you know, I was scary, and I got bullied, I got beat down. So it was painful not knowing that you could do what everyone else was doing. also, right when stuff broke out, if there was a fight or there was gang violence or what, and you had to run, you know, I wasn't going to be the fastest and the quickest and the first one home. So all those sort of things plays in my mind. And because I knew it was coming, I isolated and sheltered myself from the general population. So instead of trying to engage and be a part of what was happening, whether it be good or whether it be bad, I sort of tried to isolate myself and stay away, which therefore took me away from all the opportunities. And it wasn't until age 14 that I actually met someone who looked at me and didn't see how I was living right there in the moment. He looked at me and said, your potential is unlimited. Don't think that what you see right now is what you're always going to have. Start thinking about what's possible and gravitate towards that. And then that's how the momentum started, and I started getting self-confidence. I started playing basketball, start learning in school, and start coming out of my shell and realizing, okay, my future's in my own hands. And if I want to get it, I have to go out there and make it happen. And I have to do it consistently every single day.
This person that you met when you were 14, was that a school teacher or a sporting coach?
Actually, he was the math coach. However, he was also the basketball coach. Standing at 5'5", you know, he was so tiny I could dribble him myself. However, his passion, his understanding of human potential, his understanding of training techniques and getting to people's core was just absolutely amazing. And he single-handedly transformed my mindset into what I could become in life. So I credit majority of my high school and my college days specifically to him.
Okay. And this was your coach. Now, you weren't getting that feedback, obviously, from other school teachers, from parents, from your peer group.
He was basically the only one. He was the only one that really took that personal interest. He actually used to drive me home from school at 9, 10 o'clock at night so I could get home safely, get into bed. He used to tutor me in my math. So he actually helped me get through high school. He helped me get into college, and he was like a mentor towards me. And I always said that when I became successful and got to a place where I could have an influence, that I would like to coach people on human potential. Hence, that's why I do what I do now.
Fantastic. So you're playing sport, coaching people on sport, but actually coaching people on potential.
That's it, right.
Brings us to now. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to find out how you actually translate the sporting credo across into business and in life.
Good.
Thank you. Back in